some old news, but it's going to be new news to other people, most people, the vast majority. I'd say 99.9%. It's going to be new news. There's always been this allegation out there that a lot of countries actually have nuclear weapons that aren't saying nothing. Now, without having proof or anything per se, you'd have to be an idiot not to think that Iran doesn't already have nuclear weapons and hasn't had them for a long time. Now, I just want to put this right from the get-go. I don't have nothing against the Iranian people at all. I'm not keen on the Islamic fundamentalism and all that other type of stuff, and how they mix religion with the state and all that. I'm not keen on that at all. But other than that, I mean, I really don't really give a damn too much about it. But just the point of this is actually not even about Iran. I think there's actually a lot of things going on behind the scenes. It's been going on for years. As a matter of fact, when the Soviet Union fell apart, which likely wasn't planned to happen, there was a lot of concern about who the heck has control of the weapon systems, who has control of all the nuclear material and all this type of stuff, not just the nuclear bombs, but also all the weapons. There were stories, actually, they weren't in the mainstream press, but they were actually in the military, maybe it's almost like a joke, but they got killed. There were some Russian soldiers got a hold of some weapons or missile, whatever, bombs, and they were trying to take them apart for the precious metals that were inside them, and they blew themselves up. That's how, this was back when everything was like falling apart with the Soviet Union. And there was very lax controls over everything. Now, this information doesn't go into what happened over there, because I remember stuff. There was a lot of concern about weapons grade material falling in the wrong hands. I swear, I think there's loads more people that have atomic weapons or hydrogen bombs and all this type of stuff. I think there's a lot more around than you think. So I'm going to go into this. This is actually from several years ago, and it goes into things that happened prior. But it was, the contention is, if something happens in the United States, you're going to say it's a false flag attack by the powers that be, and I don't really know if that's a guaranteed fact. I know me saying that is going to be very unpopular, but you really don't know. There's a lot of crap going on, and I don't think they got control of everything that goes on. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here like I knew, like with 911. Man, I knew that was what the deal was with that from day one. I was like I knew about that from day one. The Oklahoma City bombing, I knew about that thing from day one too. All right. So when I'm telling you that if something happens in the United States, if there is some kind of problem with a nuclear weapon or anything like that, it may not be what the alternative media is going to immediately say. And I don't know if this is going to happen, but this is actually old information. There's been nuclear materials that have been disappeared from stockpiles in various countries, and this doesn't go into Russia or any of its satellite nations. There's a whole bunch of stuff. I lost that information. I read about it decades ago, back in the 90s or something. And there's a lot of stuff where it's almost like a no-brainer that Iran already has nuclear weapons, but they're not the only one. There's a lot of people. But I'm going to get into this. China basically was missing 8 kilograms of U-235, which is 17 pounds of uranium. And they tried to, there was a court in the capital of Chinese southern province of Guangdong, heard of the four. They tried to sell the material between 2005 and January 2007. And, these people were caught. Then Scotland, this is all over the place. Scotland lost 10.2 kilograms of uranium-235. And they just disappeared from the nuclear fuel reprocessing plant. You know, the authorities are still trying. This was years ago. So, you know, go figure it out. It's not a joke, but I mean, I'm not going to worry about this shit every day, but, hey, the internet, people want to know this kind of stuff, right? But I'm going to tell you about it because I don't think anybody else is. They're going to automatically assume something happens. It's the Illuminati, it's the bad guys in the secret government in the United States doing something. You don't really know that for a damn fact. I know about the 911, that was a setup. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to whitewash that. I know about the Oklahoma City bombing. That was like, I don't see how a fertilizer bomb could have taken down that building either. All right, fine with that. I'm just telling you that there's a lot of stuff going on in the world that isn't all, the secret government in the United States, as they keep putting out on YouTube left and right. There's a lot of stuff going on. There really are rogue elements out there, man. It's not bullshit, okay? So, and I'm not saying Scotland's a rogue element, but there's something happened where they missed 10.2 kilograms of uranium, right? Then the Republic of Congo was missing 100 bars of uranium. And, the director got arrested for that, because he couldn't figure out where the hell it was. Now, the USA, everybody everybody wants to throw dirt at the USA, right? But, hey, the USA has the most uranium. They got the most missing. So, in Virginia, there's 55 kilograms reprocessing plant located in Mount Athos, Virginia, reported an accounting problem upon receipt of uranium shipped from a plant in Kazakhstan. I guess that was Russia or around here. One of them, I don't know what the hell. I don't even know where that is, but someplace. Kazakhstan. The shortfall appears to be about 55 kilograms of uranium, which is on the order of plus or minus 100% pure. And that's like a whole bunch. They could make a lot of nuclear weapons with that. I mean, a lot. So, you're talking about, Scotland had 10 kilograms missing. Virginia had 55. Los Alamos was missing enough plutonium for 150 nuclear bombs. This is years ago now. This is old news, but, it's not in the news anymore, but it's still missing, right? The Los Alamos National Laboratory is unable to account for 765 kilograms of plutonium, according to a statement from the Nuclear Watchdog Group Director Peter Nanos. So, that's a lot. That's enough to make 150 nuclear bombs. Now, you might theorize the secret shadow government has it someplace. I don't really know. I don't know, maybe somebody sold it for money. I don't know. I really don't know. Nobody knows. Somebody could have took the stuff and say, yeah, I want a lot of greenback dollars and I'm going to sell it. Maybe that's what the hell would happen. I don't know. And maybe it's for peaceful purposes. Like Iran probably has it for peaceful purposes, right? I don't know. Maybe, whatever. But I'm just saying, there's so much stuff going on that the knee-jerk reaction out of, the major media is going to say one thing and the alternative media is going to say another thing. If something crazy happens with a nuclear weapon someday, or detonate someplace, you don't really know where the hell it came from. Nobody's going to know. Japan lost 206 kilograms of plutonium and from their stockpile, which is enough to make 25 nuclear bombs. And there's a big suspicion that it went to North Korea, per rumors. I don't know. Maybe somebody just sold it to North Korea, that's what happens, right? You got the big organized crime people up there on the top. They say, yeah, we got some plutonium. Kim Won-jil, whatever, from North Korea wants it. Somebody in Ahmadinejad wants it over there in Iran. They sell it to them, right? I mean, what the hell? That might be what happened. I don't know. But, if something does happen in the United States, the automatic knee-jerk reaction, I hope nothing happens. Man, I don't want nothing to happen, okay? But if something does happen, it could be that it really is something else other than, the shadow government or something like that. It really could be a, not a false flag attack. You don't know. That's, I don't want to say it is or it isn't. I mean, I'm a person that was right on with, even the Oklahoma City bombing with the fertilizer bomb. I saw a general, I think it was General Parton, retired U.S. Air Force, his assessment of the bombing, how ludicrous it was that a fertilizer bomb could blow up all these reinforced structure of this building so much, because the blast exponentially decreases when it's away from the building. He showed that the columns were sheared off, which means that there was charges directly against the column. You're not going to just park a truck about, in other words, you can see this all the time, even in when they drop bombs from planes and they use artillery. When a bomb blows up near a building, it may shatter all the windows, take the facade off, but it doesn't take the structural support off unless it's a direct hit, right? You see this all the time. Fertilizer bomb isn't anywhere near like military bombs, from Arty and stuff like that, howitzer stuff. It doesn't do that, you know what I mean? So, and General Parton knows his stuff too. So, I mean, I saw that. So, I'm not going to tell you, I'm not trying to, freaking play some kind of game here for like, that it can't be a conspiracy, but it may not be. It may not be. There's a lot of nuclear material out there that's missing. Now, even the British, shouldn't laugh about this, but the British are missing 19.1 kilograms of highly enriched plutonium, enough to make 5 nuclear bombs. And that was back in, I think, 2009. So the official reports list the materials unaccounted for. They seem to have disappeared from the reprocessing plant. Now, I know that years ago, man, I remember reading a whole bunch of reports about stuff happening in Russia. I mean, the only one story that stuck in my mind was because it was almost like, I wasn't laughing. Well, it was kind of funny in a way, but they got killed. But there were some Russian soldiers got a hold of some weaponry or some crap, and they were trying to dismantle it for the stuff that was inside of it. The precious metals and stuff that was in the components, and they blew themselves up. And it shed a lot of light on that. There was like, who the hell's got control of all the weaponry in Russia, at the time. This was back in the 90s when things were falling apart and the Soviet Union dissolved. Now it's under the finger of Vladimir Putin, which isn't better than it was before, but, it's, as long as he's, I don't know. Vladimir Putin is a guy, I don't smoke weed or nothing like that, but if there's one guy that should smoke a bag of weed a day, it's Vladimir Putin. He ought to chill out because he's got his finger on the nuclear button, that's for sure, man. But there's so much, this is what's going to happen. I almost think there's going to be some damn nuclear conflict or something's going to happen one of these days. And then they're going to they say everything's got to go under one hat. We got to have one world government. We got to have one military, and then it'll be screwed up again. What else is new, right? But I just want to put this out here. It's been known for years that stuff's been disappearing from various uranium and plutonium stockpiles out of various governments, and especially in good old USA, but all over the place. And, this doesn't go into Russia, but there's stuff missing from Russia, too. There's been. So, if there is something that happens, it may not, I don't know, it may not be a false flag attack. You really don't know for absolutely certain. You don't know. They're going to be saying it is. And, if I was the guy that was doing a false flag attack, boy, that'd be the perfect setup, man. You'd be saying, oh, yeah, it's the shadow government of the USA. In the meantime, you're the guy that blew up the USA, and you're the bad guy, right? You don't know. You don't know. Now, I know with 911, it was pretty simple to figure out. How the hell's a plane knock down a building? I don't want to laugh about that. And how did Building 7 fall down all by itself? With a couple little fires in the window. That thing was like the strongest. That was where they had, where the hell was it? Homeland Security. I forgot. There's so much stuff I read on this junk. I got sick of reading about it, but It's pretty obvious why they got rid of that stuff. There was like a lot of reasons. There was a lot of angles. There was a lot of angles to, there was a lot of different people that had motives to get rid of the stuff that was in those buildings, because there was investigations going on left and right. But it doesn't necessarily mean in the future every damn thing that happens on U.S. soil is going to be due to the, invisible shadow government playing games. You don't really know that for absolute fact, because I don't think, I don't want to put the finger on Iran, guaranteed, but I'd say, if you just want to use, it's almost like 2 + 2 = 4, for crying out loud. Iran already has nuclear weapons. They've had nuclear weapons. They're just getting more, That's just how it is. I mean, you could say plus or minus if that's good or bad, but they've already had them. They've already had them. I'm almost sure of it. There's so much stuff that's been missing for so many years. I don't even think anybody really knows who the hell is the nuclear powers in the world. I don't think anybody knows that. And you want to freaking look at it this way, because everybody hates the NSA now for spying on everybody. I'm going to put this out here because, it's like you hope the NSA is doing the right thing and you got honorable people. I noticed this the problem since the dawn of time, The Romans used to say that. Who watches the watchers? How the hell if you put somebody in charge that's got this big power, who the hell watches them, right? That's always been a freaking age-old question, right? That's the one freaking beef everybody's got with the NSA, right? Everybody's got that problem. Who the hell's, if they go overboard, they do this, they're not supposed to do this, and all this kind of crap. And start looking at what's going on with all this nuclear material. How the hell are you going to know if somebody's going to do something? You're going to have to spy on them, right? I know I just said something extremely unpopular, but isn't that a fact? What the hell would you do? What would you do, right? You try to figure out if somebody's going to do something, right? Right? It's not like it's that clear cut. It's not that clear cut. And like I said, this has been the age-old problem going back to the Romans. Who watches the watchers? That's why you have the United States, supposedly, we try to have it, limited government, checks and balances, nobody gets too much power, right? And it's worked to keep it that way, right? So, anyway, I just figured I'd put this out for food for thought, because this has been known for years. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. It's like, I don't know. The stuff that predates this by a lot. When the Soviet Union fell apart, there was a lot of reports about stuff going missing. You wouldn't believe it. It could, you could make a big drama thing about it, but you got to look at it this way. That's why you need spies. That's why you need a CIA and an NSA too, right? Right? You just hope they ain't doing the wrong thing. They need to have oversight, right? We need to oversight it. We need to oversight them too, right? We need to watch the watchers, right? But then again, they do have a necessary function, right? And like I said, I just told you, I knew about the Oklahoma City bombing, what the deal was, and I knew the crap about with the new 911 before the internet was even around. I knew about it a long time ago. So, I'm not somebody that's, towing the freaking establishment line here. I'm just telling you straight up. It's not like clear cut, like these freaking alternative disinformation hoorah Russia Today lovers and Putin flag wavers are keep saying it all the time. I'm going to call them out for that shit too. You know what I mean? It ain't that simple. It ain't that simple. So anyway, there's a lot of nuclear weapons and probably out there that we don't know about, and anybody with half a brain can figure that, if this stuff went missing, it didn't get flushed down the toilet or something like that. You know what I mean? Somebody's got it. Somebody's got it.